Alright, Guillermo del Toro brings Frankenstein to Netflix, but not the story you think you know. This time, the creature's not just a monster. He's a soul, searching for meaning across a frozen world and through the pain of his own creation. So, if you missed it or didn't finish it, here's Frankenstein, reimagined by Guillermo del Toro. The narrative begins in the far north in 1857, where a ship is trapped in ice. The crew toils day and night, hoping to free it. The crew, however, yearns to return home, believing he can reach the world's edge, as the captain insists on pushing further towards the North Pole. One night, a disturbance near the ship prompts the captain to send an investigation party. They discover a ravaged site and an injured man, whom they quickly bring aboard for care. Soon, they realize a terrifying creature is pursuing them. The captain orders his men to repel it, but despite their efforts, the beast repeatedly recovers, advancing with unstoppable force. It begins to overpower the men one by one, until the captain notices the creature isn't trying to destroy them all, but rather to reach the rescued man, Victor. Just as the monster closes in, someone activates a powerful device, knocking it off the ship. Though trapped, the creature continues to move, attempting to dislodge the vessel. The captain devises a plan, breaking a section of ice. Later, Victor is informed the creature is gone, but he warns them it cannot be truly destroyed and will inevitably return for him. He makes them promise to leave him alone when it does, to prevent further sacrifices. Intrigued, the captain asks Victor about the demonic being's creator. With a distant gaze, Victor reveals he himself created it long ago. The story then shifts to Victor's past. Born into an arranged marriage, his father was a renowned physician, and his mother came from nobility. His father was exceedingly strict, constantly teaching Victor medicine to uphold the family's reputation, punishing him for any oversight. One day, his mother tragically died during childbirth, leaving Victor with a profound sense of loneliness. His younger brother, William, became his father's favorite, monopolizing his attention. Victor couldn't accept that his respected father had failed to save his mother. He confronted him angrily, but his father insisted he had done everything possible, stating that no one could defeat death itself. At this moment, a new resolve awakened in Victor. He vowed that where his father had failed to conquer death, he would succeed, finding a way to defy it. That night, a vision of a dark angel, silent yet inspiring, solidified his conviction to become the greatest physician ever. Back in the present, the creature Frankenstein is seen rising from the snow, once again heading towards the ship. Victor continues his tale, recounting how he later lost his father, but never abandoned his purpose. He eventually became a doctor, even more distinguished than his father. Before an assembly, he declared he had conquered death and was on the verge of even greater discoveries.
My contractors can manufacture.
The demonstration astonished everyone. Victor sought further support to advance his work towards immortality, but his project was deemed an abomination, leading to his expulsion from the assembly. Enraged, he deactivated his experiment and departed. Sometime later, Victor met Henrik, an investor who shared his artistic and scientific interests. Henrik showed Victor how he preserved the human body's beauty by meticulously extracting elements, leaving only the vital connections linking to the heart. He explained that this structure held a key concept crucial for Victor's research. Through this, Victor realized that a deeper analysis of these connections could significantly advance his reanimation project. Victor believes connecting strategic points will grant infinite energy and eternal life. Impressed, Henrik offers to fund his project, requesting documentation and a future favor. Victor, excited but preferring solitude, says he'll consider it. Shortly after, Victor's brother William, returning after years, introduces his fiancée, Elizabeth. Victor is captivated by her beauty and intellect. At a dinner, Victor passionately discusses conquering death, but Elizabeth boldly interrupts him. She dismisses his ideas as absurd, suggesting he serve his country in battle instead. Her directness leaves him bewildered, unsure if she's angelic or demonic. In the present, Frankenstein silently steers the ship until a guard spots him, alarming everyone. Sailors demand the captain surrender him, but he refuses, citing his protection. Back in the past, Victor and Henrik inspect a tower suitable for experiments. Victor, feeling a call of destiny, accepts Henrik's offer of full research support. Days pass as Victor meticulously collects optimal human parts, intending to construct a perfect specimen. One day, Victor follows Elizabeth to a temple, posing as a priest to hear her confession. She reveals her distrust of her fiancé's controlling brother. Victor, realizes she was teasing him, but they laugh it off and go for a drink. Victor learns Elizabeth finds insects extraordinary and misunderstood. A friendship forms, yet Victor's experimental obsession persists. Victor drifts from William, consumed by his work in the tower, nearing a breakthrough, but still far from completion. Henrik warns Victor that impending conflicts will strain finances, giving him 1 week to show results or lose the tower. Elizabeth visits Victor, who confesses a special connection. She subtly indicates her future lies with William, and Victor sadly steps back. Solitude sparks his greatest inspiration. Late one night, he precisely identifies key connection points. A successful test with an earlier experiment confirms his proximity to success, requiring only perfect, fresh components and a potent energy source for infinite power. He works tirelessly, preparing everything. Only a lightning strike remains. Victor discovers Henrik is terminally ill. Henrik begs him to transfer his mind into the reanimated body for immortality. Victor, however, states there's no time, as the experiment is ready. Henrik insists, promising rewards, then threatens to destroy an antenna. He accidentally falls with it. Despite losing his investor, Victor prioritizes his experiments. He proceeds, and even with a damaged antenna, a lightning bolt strikes, beginning the process. He soon realizes failure. The body remains inert. Frustrated, he confronts a dark angel statue in his room, accusing it of deception. A dream of the angel moving startles him awake. Startled, Victor recoils, but quickly perceives the creature is harmless, merely experiencing the world for the first time. Observing its rapid regeneration, he attempts to teach it about the sun and life's beauty. Days pass as Victor began teaching the creature, keeping it confined to prevent incidents. He observed its profound curiosity and wonder. After an accidental injury, Victor discovered its nearly instant regeneration, prompting him to try stimulating its brain to match its physical evolution. The creature could only pronounce Victor's name, but Victor's intense pressure soon instilled fear in it. Elizabeth and William arrived, inquiring about Henrik. Victor evasively claimed not to have seen him, but promised to show them something vital. While Victor conversed with William, Elizabeth heard strange noises and found the creature. Both were astonished. Elizabeth confronted Victor about what he had done, but he revealed he hadn't harmed the being, he had given it life. Victor introduced the creature as Frankenstein, assuring them it was healing and evolving, though still lacking significant intelligence. As William and Victor debated the creature's soul, Elizabeth decided to visit Frankenstein alone to understand him better. Victor, discovering her interaction, warned her to keep her distance, deeming it potentially dangerous. Elizabeth, however, countered that Frankenstein might be more human than many others. This exchange marked the beginning of emotional tension between them. Vision, jealous of Elizabeth's sympathy for Frankenstein, Victor confronted his creation, calling it a failed experiment and a mistake. Pushed too far, the creature lost patience, using its great strength to make clear it would not be treated that way. The next day, Victor confessed to William his error with Frankenstein, even blaming him for Henrik's fate. He insisted William take Elizabeth away so he could eliminate all evidence. William and Elizabeth departed, and Victor began dousing the lab with fuel. Before igniting it, he offered Frankenstein one last chance to speak another word. Convinced his creation represented an unforgivable error, he lit the place and left it to burn. As he walked away, Victor heard a desperate cry. Frankenstein called out as if a child, pleading for his father's help. Victor stopped, abandoning his pride, and remembered Frankenstein was his creation, his greatest work. He returned to save him, but the laboratory was already a chaotic inferno, and in the attempt, Victor lost a foot. Returning to the present, Victor assured the captain he had tried to create life, but had only created a monster that defied it. At that moment, they heard a commotion outside. The captain opened the door to find Frankenstein had entered, intending to tear him down. However, the captain declared he was ready to depart, having heard Victor's story of how Frankenstein became a monster. Frankenstein then stated he would now tell his version of events, seeking proper judgment. Vision. Frankenstein's narrative began. Amidst the tower's destruction, he had escaped just in time, ending up in the sea. Fortunately, he awoke one day on a coast and began exploring. He adapted to the environment, his inherent nobility, allowing him to coexist even with deer. However, upon seeing hunters pursuing them, he fled, seeking refuge in an apparently abandoned house. This shelter provided a warmer night, but at dawn, he discovered the owners had returned. Frankenstein observed a blind old man cared for by his granddaughter, who taught him things hidden within the walls. Frankenstein also absorbed these lessons. still concealed, Frankenstein grew fond of the family and gradually assisted them with chores without being seen. They attributed these helpful acts to a forest spirit. This period brought Frankenstein peace. He aided them and they left him gifts in gratitude. One day, wolves attacked their livestock. Frankenstein deduced that wolves hunted sheep and humans hunted wolves. Realizing the world was in a constant state of predation, the family prepared the sheep's wool for sale, and the grandfather decided to stay home to guard the house. Frankenstein seized this opportunity to reveal himself. The old man immediately recognized the nobility in his heart, and they began to form a friendship. Through this connection, Frankenstein found a caregiver who taught him to read. He absorbed stories like Adam and Eve, broadening his understanding and perspective on life. Eventually, the old man noticed Frankenstein's limited memory of his past, marked only by dreams of a tower. He urged Frankenstein to visit the site, hoping to uncover his origins. There, Frankenstein discovered scattered notes, and with newfound intelligence, realized he was merely Victor's creation. The memories of his time with Victor flooded back. Returning home to share his findings, he found wolves invading the house, attacking the old man. He gently placed the weakened old man in a chair.
And then,
With time running out, Frankenstein tearfully confessed his nature as a monster, a product of discarded parts and experiments. Yet the old man, with his dying breath, assured him he was far more, a good man and a friend. Once again, Frankenstein found himself alone. To compound his despair, relatives arrived, unjustly blaming him for everything. He attempted to escape their pursuit, but was knocked down. He soon regained consciousness, fully recovered. His next resolve was to seek Victor, who was haunted by visions of a dark angel, which Frankenstein soon realized was death itself. Meanwhile, Victor grappled with his prosthetic leg and the necessity of selling all his possessions, as no one believed Heinrich's death was accidental. On Elizabeth and William's boot day, Victor still harbored feelings for Elizabeth, but she insisted on respect. However, Victor faced a more immediate threat. Frankenstein had tracked him down. Frankenstein demanded one final thing before departing: a companion. Aware of his immortality, he refused to wander eternity alone. Victor's refusal sparked a brief confrontation. Elizabeth then entered, expressing joy at seeing Frankenstein, who then pleaded with Frankenstein to take her with him. William also suffered in the ensuing chaos. Victor managed a farewell, and William, in his final moments, declared that while he saw Frankenstein as a monster, Victor was the true monster, responsible for all the unfolding tragedy. Frankenstein remained with Elizabeth during her last moments, assuring her he possessed more humanity than many people. When Victor arrived, Frankenstein confronted him, warning him to cease his pursuit or become his servant. Days turned into Victor's relentless hunt for Frankenstein, determined to destroy his creation. But Frankenstein anticipated him, trapping Victor first. Using a device, Frankenstein granted Victor a brief head start, explaining it as a strategic advantage. Victor was subsequently discovered by the crew, bringing the narrative back to the present. Where he concluded his story, Victor confessed his impending death, offering a sincere apology to Frankenstein, whom he now regarded as a son. A moved Frankenstein forgave him, allowing Victor to finally find peace. The captain then instructed his crew to let Frankenstein go, assuring them there was nothing to fear. The captain decided they had experienced enough adventures and it was time to return home. Frankenstein, watching the sunset, bid farewell to the son his creator had so cherished. And that's the end of the story. A creature born from death who learned what it truly means to live. If you like this recap, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more movie stories that hit you right in the heart. See you next time.